Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys coming by the channel to watch today's video. Guys, we're going to be talking about catching big bass today. We're going to be talking about a study that I have concluded after probably about a 30-year experiment on this, the 3 lures that catch the biggest bass. Now, most people are not going to guess what these are. A lot of people think that like a big glide bait or swim bait or something is the best lure to catch big ones on. Not true. I've got 3 right here that I'm going to go over that will give you the best odds of catching a bass over 7 pounds. A realistic shot. Now, some of the lures out there, again, like the big swim baits and big glide baits and giant lures, yeah, you may catch an occasional giant if you're fishing a place that has them, but there's 3 lures that will consistently, day in and day out, give you a better chance of catching really big bass than any other 3 lures out there. And I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on how to fish them, the best colors for them, and where you want to fish them in today's episode. Also, guys, before we get started, a couple quick things. Just thank you very much for everybody that's taken time to hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling. If you want to support the channel and do it free, that's a good way to do it. Just hit that subscribe button, like the videos, and share the videos. And also, guys, if you want to go to the next level on Intuitive Angling, you can be an Intuitive Angling channel member. And channel members get extra videos every week that are not seen by the public, and access to my email address for your fishing questions. You can mail your questions to me personally. So just go into my YouTube homepage and click on the join button or the membership for details there. So really appreciate that. Okay, this study that I'm talking about here, this is a study that I have done by myself over the past 30, 40 years in bass fishing. And it's sort of backed up by some of my buddies too that fishes the circuit forever. But out of all the lure categories, and there's a lot of them out there, guys, you got every type of soft plastic, you got topwaters, crankbaits, chatterbaits, you got just hundreds of different lures to go through. I'm going to show you guys the 3 lures, and I'm going to talk about the 3 colors that have caught me more bass over 7 pounds than any other lure out there all over the country. Consistently, I get reproducible results with these 3 baits, so we're going to get into them. Okay, the first one, guys, a lot of y'all may not know this, the old school DD22. Guys, this is the old Norman DD22. It's been around forever. It's a cheaply made crankbait. They don't cost a lot of money, but guys, I cannot tell you how many big bass I've caught on this DD22. I don't know what it is about it. It doesn't look special. It's got a pretty simple profile on it. But like anything that generates strikes from bigger fish, it has to do with the combination of the water displacement, the vibration, how it moves, the profile of the bait. There's a combination of things that trigger a big fish to bite. And out of all the deep diving crankbaits, you guys know that I'm sponsored by Megabass. You know, Strike King makes good crankbaits. Every company makes good crankbaits. I have caught more big ones on the DD22 than any other deep diving crankbait, primarily in the month of May, June, and July. Guys, if you want a chance to catch a big fish, take a DD22 in this color, blue back, chartreuse side. This is another thing we're going to be talking about colors. You will catch bigger fish on a chartreuse sided crankbait than any other color out there. It's an aggressive color. Take a DD22 and fish it out off flat points in the month of June, especially in early June. That's going to give you a really good chance to catch a big one. I use some type of a medium, fast, stop and go retrieve. Point that rod tip straight at the bait, fast and go retrieve. But guys, DD22, blue back, chartreuse side will get you a big bite. Okay, the next one, guys, and this is the bait here that I probably caught. The next 2, this bait I'm going to show you now and the other bait, I probably caught more bass over 7 pounds on these 2 lures than any other lure out there. The DD22, I probably caught more bass over 5 pounds on that bait than any other, lure I've thrown. But the truly big ones are going to be on these next 2. First one, guys, is a big spinnerbait, a big 3/4 ounce or 1 ounce spinnerbait with at least a number 6 or number 7 willow leaf. I normally use a number 7 or number 8. Large profile, full skirt. I usually have a big trailer on the back of it, some type of big plastic trailer. And you want a big profile bait. You want the wire to be long. You want the whole bait needs to be about 7 inches long. But guys, a big 1 ounce spinnerbait with a big willow leaf like this, one of the best big basses, if not the best big bass baits you can throw. And there's a window of time that you want to throw this big spinnerbait for the big ones. And like any other bait, except for the crankbait, guys, you're going to catch, your odds of catching big ones are better in the pre-spawn time of the year. That's just more, there's more big fish up shallow and biting anything. But take this big spinnerbait, guys, and if you have submergent grass beds, slow roll it over submergent grass beds. It's deadly. I've got so many big ones on the TVA lakes and in Texas doing that, in Florida as well. Slow roll it down steeper banks, like slow roll it down 45-degree angle banks, throw it around lay down trees, throw it around lily pad edges, next to boat docks. It's just a great bait for catching big ones, guys. There's something about it, the way that it appeals to a fish. It's just, it appeals to giant fish. I mean, it really does. So big spinnerbait's gonna be right up there. Also, guys, I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. If you guys would like to order some of the baits I'm talking about here, if you use that link, it's a good way to help the channel. Finally, guys, the last one, no surprise, I think the #1 bait to day in and day out, if you want to catch a bass over 7 pounds, is a full-size jig. In this color right here, black with chartreuse with a blue chunk on it. This is my Blaukat Throwback jig, living rubber. That's another thing about it, guys. Living rubber, like on my throwback jig here, will get you a bigger bite than a silicone skirt because it has a different look in the water. Living rubber has a glow in the water that silicone does not, and it has a different action. Again, I'll link this in the description of my video, the throwback jig. Specifically this color is what I'm talking about. You can catch big ones on all types of jig, but a lot of people have never used a black and chartreuse jig, guys. A black and chartreuse jig will get you the biggest bite that you can get on a jig when you couple it up with the blue trailer like this. It may not be a color that you're gonna get the most bites on, but if you have water visibility in that sort of that 1 to 2.5 foot zone, and you have some type of good shallow cover to fish it around, like lay down trees, a dock, some type of grass beds, reeds, anything like that, cattails, push on this combination right here, 25-pound test fluorocarbon line, pitch it and flip it around the thickest cover you can get, and definitely the odds of catching big ones are gonna be really good. Okay, now those are the baits. Those are the 3 baits we're talking about. Now let's talk about the important ingredient when you're talking about catching big ones, because in order to catch big ones, you have got to be fishing where the big ones live at. Obviously, if you're gonna catch a big fish, you need to be on a body of water that has big ones in it. Now, all you dudes out there that fish Texas, California, and Florida, you guys are spoiled. You guys have most of the big bass in this country. Anyone else that does not fish in those 3 states, big bass are a lot harder to come by. And like here in Missouri, it used to be, a lot better here than it is now. But right now, right around 5 pounds, maybe 6 pounds usually wins big bass for the tournament most of the year in Missouri. It used to take, 8 to 10 pounder would win big bass, but all that stuff, fishing pressures had an impact. But #1, you got to be around a lake that has big ones. #2 factor with that, if you want to consistently catch big ones, now you might catch a big one at any time, anywhere, but if you want to catch big ones consistently, year after year after year, there's 2 factors that you have to understand as far as where you want to fish using those baits that I talked about right there. #1 is you've got to have the structure that you're fishing located in some proximity to deeper water. Now that deeper water can be relative, depends on how deep the lake is, but all of the big ones that I have caught, most all of the big ones, have come where there's some type of access close by to deep water, like the old creek channel or the old river channels close by, or it just drops off deeper. Those big fish do not like to move in a horizontal fashion for long distances in shallow water if they don't have a deep water access nearby. So that's the #1 thing. That's why areas like, bluffs and channel swings and creek channel intersections, all those type of areas are notoriously famous for holding bigger fish. So set up with that. #1, make sure your cover is some type of proximity to deeper water. The second with that is you have to have some type of cover that offers some type of complexity. You're not going to catch many big ones unless it's, during that little window during the pre-spawn where they just get up on rocky banks and stuff. You're not going to catch many big ones unless you're fishing around some type of ambush point cover. Again, that's relative to the lake you're fishing. If you're down south, it could be reeds and cattails and grass. If you're on a tidal river, it could be lily pads. If you're in the Ozarks where I'm at, it could be a boat dock or a brush pile. If you're in Oklahoma, it could be a lay down tree in the water. But having whatever available cover that you have that is the thickest and most diverse cover in proximity to deeper water, using one of those 3 baits that I talked about, your odds of catching big ones are going to go way up. You know, consistently you're going to catch bigger ones doing that. So that's the main thing, guys. It's like, you know, catching big bass is an art, and it's sort of like a specialty technique, because a lot of people don't want to put in the time just to get a bite or 2 a day, or maybe a bite or 2 every 2 or 3 days. They'd rather put on some lure they can get bit on. But, you know, if you're wanting to catch big ones, you got to fish for big ones. And that's, out of all the fishing I've done, those 3 that I just talked to you about, guys, they've accounted for more big ones, those big giant hogs, than any other lures out there. So honorable mention with that. If I had to extend an honorable mention about some other ones that could possibly work, right near the top, it'd have to be a soft plastic stick bait, like that Zoom's Linky or Cinco. A 6-inch soft plastic stick bait will get you a big bite. You know, a big 10-inch worm, 10 or 12-inch worm, like that Zoom Old Monster is a good one for it. And of course, some of the larger swim baits, maybe like that 8-inch mag draft is a good one for that. And you can't ever discount catching a big one occasionally on a topwater lure. So anyway, I hope it helps you guys catch some, and we'll check in later.